3, 2, 1.
We had always dreamt of being off-grid, right from day one, and we got our first taste of this when we lived in our converted Sprinter van. Making our own power gave us a sense of freedom on the road, and we knew that one day further down that road we would have our own off-grid homestead. Buying our property in Bulgaria was the first opportunity to make this dream a reality.
And we said right from the start we never wanted to be connected to the grid.
Having made this rod for our own backs, the only way we could get power on the land initially was generators. Noisy, costly and smelly. When we moved from the UK, we decided to bring a lot of the equipment for our solar setup with us. Why, I hear you ask? Well, because, to be honest, we couldn't find any of it locally. Research online in Bulgaria showed us only the equipment for big commercial setups, nothing for the domestic market. I will say though, I have since found a couple of companies on the other side of the country that do have the equipment for small domestic setups like ours.
Morning guys. So we have been here for a few days. As you can hear, the generator is running and has been running flat out the entire time, and it's costing us about 100 levs, about 50 quid every 3 days, something like that. We've just on our last bit of fuel now and we're 3 days in. So we need to get cracking with our solar setup. And in case you guys haven't seen yet, this is how it looks. Very, very, very overgrown. So the plan is to try and put the solar panels around here somewhere. I need to be aware of the shade from the trees in low sun at the winter. In the summer it's not a problem, this gets the sun all, literally from morning till night. But in the winter the low sun might be an issue with the trees, so I'll use a sun tracking app for that before I put anything in the ground. All of this has got to be trimmed and cleared anyway, so I'm going to do that now. And then work out my prime position. I've got about 25 metres of solar cable with me. So I need to be roughly 25 metres away from where the power setup's going to be, and this power setup is going to be in the summer kitchen in here. We've decided to do that as money run really tight, really quick. So I was going to build a powerhouse, insulated wooden shed. That's not going to happen now, not initially anyway. So we're going to get them in here. This is going to be the best temperature control really for the batteries and for the inverters. This stays pretty stable temperatures, about 25 degrees ish. So yeah, we're going to get strimming today, work out where these solar panels are going to go, run the cables, get that lot set up, and then hopefully we can get on with this power system, because the generator's running flat out and it's costing us a few quid. So we're a couple of days on. I've had 5 different apps on my phone to try and find which way is south and the way to orientate these solar panels, and every single one of them was reading differently. So I got a proper compass and have checked that the one that I was most hopeful of is correct, so that's good. However, the layout that I had planned here is incorrect, and actually I thought south was this way. It's actually this way, towards the camera. That's it, about this. Yeah, perfect.
Oh.
All those two.
Yay!
Way!
Well done!
Ready? Steady, go. Perfect.
Now we help.
Get both of them out of the way.
We're gonna use this big boy.
Having cleared the area, the next thing to do is to assemble some kind of framework that we can get these panels on. Not one for computer aided design.
I'm back again.
You right there, mate? Yeah, I'm not one for computer aided design. I think up here and then I just build from my head. Even drawings, sketches and stuff, I'm still not very good. So I've got a plan with this to do like a subframe, which is just a basic frame that goes into the ground or sits on the ground with a perimeter outside, and then there will be frames around the panels themselves that the panels bolt to, and the two will be separated by hinges, so we can hinge the panels to whichever way we need for depending on the time of year. We're literally just going to use 4x2 timber, standard gate hinges and screws. Simple as that. We're building this non-permanently really, so that we can in the future take this down, relocate it somewhere else if we feel we need to. This whole setup is trial and error. We are in the best place that we can be, that we know we're not going to do too much with the land with. We know that we've got other plans around here, so for the minute this is the best place. But first things first, we need to get these measured up and a perimeter frame done so that we can get these in. And these are our super sexy Canadian solar 410 watt panels, and we have 6 of them.
So, what are we waiting for, guys? Let's get building.
In this box is extremely exciting, and I have waited months to get my hands on this, and then another 3 or 4 weeks to get to a point where we can start to install it. This is a server rack battery. This is a fairly new product, and it's from a British company called Fogstar batteries, and we're working with them to try this out, see how it goes, and I'm told to give you completely honest feedback. So, let's have a look what's in the box. Oh, not only have we got a battery, we've also got this. A cabinet to mount them in. Look at this. To say I'm excited is an understatement. I know it's a battery, it's a cabinet. You know, don't get... This is extremely exciting when you're off grid. This is their 3 battery servo cabinet setup. It is modular, expandable. It has been designed and built by them. And, oh, it's just fabulous, isn't it? Look! Let's have a look what's in the box. In here, there's a USB cable because you can download their app and manage everything from on the battery from a laptop. Cables to go into the server cabinet. I'm going to try and get this out without putting these poly chips all over our land and the garden and everywhere else. Okay, it is just under 50 kilos as well, so it's a serious lump. Not too bad. So, here we have the Fogstar Energy server rack battery.
Okay, so let's talk specs. 48 volts, 5.12 kilowatt hours of usable capacity, a maximum charge and discharge current of 100 amps, and let's not overlook the ability to charge down to minus 20 degrees thanks to its built-in heating pads. With a rather gorgeous TFT LCD touchscreen, a gold standard pace BMS and several preloaded inverter protocols, installation was a breeze. And compared to their overpriced competitors, pricing is realistic, and the reassurance of knowing it contains 16 actual grade A cells direct from Eve really is priceless.
And the selling point for me? 8-year warranty and a 15-year lifespan. Man, what a bit of kit.
That is the output from the inverter, AC wired up. Out of the inverter into an isolator, a minor consumer unit, just to make sure the power going into here is safe before coming out of the consumer unit then to all the various places. I've just rigged this socket up just for testing everything and getting initial power running in here. I've still got to put on the power in for the generator, which will be another isolator and smaller consumer unit. That's for the power into this. How about that for a perfect fit? This is the solar combiner box. So if you can see in here, we've got string 1 and 2 positive, string 1 and 2 negative, a surge protection device and an isolator switch down here. These are individual fuses, so everything's fused, and this has got its own earth spike that goes in the ground up here as well, so it's a totally separate earth point. All the panels go into here. This is an IP60 rated box. and we're going to put our cables into here and then our main cable out, which goes in. I've got this, it's a water pipe. It's actually pretty thick walled and it's very strong. So the plan is to obviously use this as conduit to run the cable down to the summer kitchen, which should be just in shot down there. So my plan is to put this combiner box under this array here, mainly to keep it out of the worst of the weather, and then obviously everything will run underground. This is as low as the panels will ever get, so it will only go up. So at the moment, as long as I can access under here, that'll be perfect for mounting this. I'm out here at the back of the summer kitchen and I totally messed up. I bought 50 metres of cable that I needed to split in half, so 25 metre run. The summer kitchen is 15 metres away from the solar panels, so we should have had plenty, but I didn't account for having to connect the tail ends of the solar, that end to the centre and that end to the centre, which has lost me best part of 10 metres of cable. So totally my fault. Anyway, I'm having to put an outdoor junction box on, which I'm going to mount up in this, right up in this corner here, so it's right out of the weather. But I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to run another 6mm cable along underneath this concrete ledge and round to this corner, which is where the solar is, the inverter is on the inside of the wall. What an idiot, eh? What an idiot. I knew it. 50 metres, that'd be enough. That'd be enough. We are ready for the big switch on. So, battery is switched on. Battery breaker is on. So with the inverter you need to fire up the battery first. So, battery on. Inverter on. 3, 2, 1. $202 charging. Okay, I think we're charging 250 watts. Man, this has been stressful. Okay, we are charging the battery. Let's do this. Oh, shiny. Hopefully you can see a bit easier. Sort of. So we currently have the washing machine running. This little arrow shows you that you're putting power into the battery. So the power's coming from the solar into the inverter. The house is being fully powered and the battery is charging. There you are, 26 amps going into the battery. What's interesting is we can now come down here and we can see 1.29 kilowatts. We are now drawing 500 watts out of the battery, which means that there you go, you can see the inverter's doing 41% of its capacity now, 2.1 kilowatts at the minute. Now it's dropped off again, you see, so it's back to 250 watts, and that means that the power then will be upping into the battery. 12, 13, 15, 16, so the power just keeps ramping up then that goes into the battery. And we'll see that again on here, 1.2 kilowatts. Pretty cool, going into the battery. And that state of charge is already at 57%, which is fantastic. There we go, it's working! Yay! So I know this question is going to come up on the video. Please excuse the neighbour's dog. I've been waiting for 10 minutes to do this bit to camera and he's still not shut up. So to put up with it, I'm afraid. Anyway, I know this question is going to come up. These cables here, our little swallow friend is sat on, look like we are connected to the grid. I can absolutely categorically tell you that we are not connected to the grid. It's not connected at the pole and it's not connected at the house. I don't actually know what's involved in taking these cables out. I don't know if that's that I can do that or whether it's up to the power company. So until we start work on the house, we're not going to fiddle. They're not in the way. It's not causing a problem. So yeah, I know that a lot of people will spot these and go, hang on a minute, I see the cables here. I'm telling you now, they are absolutely not connected.
Working from home, powered by the sun.
So these are our big industrial fans. We have 2 of them and they're 150 watts each, and we also run these off the grid.
Even our pool is powered by the sun. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So I consider this to be one of life's essentials. It has been the best investment we've made yet. So yeah, we run this off grid too. How exciting!
Oh, thank goodness for aircon. This is powered by the sun too.
Today's job is to install this, which is a great big heavy duty 6mm 3-core cable for us to run the caravan and the little barn at the moment. This whole setup has been running on an extension lead since we got here, and whilst it's working, we've got quite a serious current draw going on with the air conditioning, the little portable aircon unit in the caravan, as well as the fans, the fridge, everything else. The pool pump is running on it, and we've also got the washing machine in the little barn. So I've had to be really careful with what's running and when I can run other stuff and all the rest of it. So it's time now to get a proper cable in, and then we don't have to worry about what's running when other stuff's on and all the rest of it. So yeah, Christian, I know you're watching this. Thank you for wrapping my cable up so beautifully. You did such a wonderful job. Not the case. I'm only joking, mate. I appreciate your help. So when I put this cable through, it was way too late to film. There just wasn't the light, and the camera just doesn't pick anything up. It's all grainy and unusable. So yeah, I didn't manage to film me actually putting the cable in, but it's pretty boring anyway. So there you can see there's the big power pole on top of the barn, and I did a straining wire that goes across between there and the house, and then I just clipped it to that. So it goes up to there, it runs down under the eaves here, it goes underneath the line of the roof, across this beam here. There was this tube already through the wall, and that makes the perfect point in which to bring our cables in and out of the building. It's underneath the lip of the roof, because it's got quite a roof overhang on the building, so it never gets the rain anyway. Cable goes into there and then into our consumer unit, and it is just on a 16 amp breaker because that is all we need out there for the moment. In here in the little barn is where the power cable comes in from the big power pole outside, and then all I've done is I've just built this, it's just a sheet of plywood basically with options for us. So this is the big 16 amp socket, this is what runs the caravan, and that's on the proper caravan hookup lead that came with the caravan. There's a double English socket here for me to run any of my tools that I've brought with me from home, and then obviously we've got a European socket as well to run anything new. Yeah, it's a real basic setup, but it's good enough for what we need. And the washing machine, which is over in this corner, is just on a little extension lead into this European plug here. It is 12:32. The battery's at 97%. We are currently running the swimming pool, the washing machine. I'm charging my laptop. The fridge is on. One of the big fans is on. No air conditioning today. The lights are on in the workshop. We are pulling currently 10% of the inverter's potential, a total of 500 watts. We're producing 642 from the panels. At the moment, in the sunshine that we've got, we could draw 2.2 kilowatts, no problem. So yeah, because the batteries are full, the inverter is only making the power that it needs to from the solar panels. So right now at this moment in time we have got over 2 kilowatt, well just under 2 kilowatts of power not being used. This is where it pays to have another battery to charge, or like a hot water cylinder, something where you can store that energy while you're making it, because at the minute we're just wasting it, it's not being used.
It really wasn't that long ago we were dreading the monthly electricity bill. Now we hope to never receive one again. A huge thank you to Fogstar for helping make this happen for us. It's just the first chapter in our off-grid adventure. So, who's ready for the next?